We're now going to look at the debtors ledger and how to post transactions to the debtors ledger. It will be similar to the creditors ledger. It's just what the creditors ledger will increase on the credit side, whereas the debtors on the debit side. So let's just go back to what I said there. A debtor is somebody owing us money, which makes it money that we're going to receive in future, which means it's an asset, and it increases on the debit side and decreases on the credit side. So I will immediately on my answer book put a plus above the debit column and a minus above the credit column, so that I know whatever, if it increases, I'll put it here, decreases, I'll put it there. If it was the creditor, it's a liability, it increases on the credit, decrease on the debit. So just the opposite, but same procedures to follow. So let's see what they give us. Following information was taken from Dlomo stores for March. Just a second. For March 2020, they allow 30 days to pay. If a debtor is in arrears, interest of 6% is added or charged. Okay, so that later on I may need, so let's just highlight it. Prepare the debtors ledger for M Smart. Only one debtor, and it starts off by giving me his balance. Like with the general ledger, with the debtors or creditors, I must always look for the opening balance. And that was his opening balance. So let's go to the ledger itself. The date is, the first column is the year and the month. So it's 2020 March. And the balance will be on the first day of the month. It is a balance brought down, and I go to the balance column directly. I don't put the balance in either the debit or the credit column. I put it straight in the balance column. And the amount, 7,000. So that was his opening balance. Now we can start doing the transactions. When we do the transactions, it is important to know that the type of journals that can affect the DJ. In this case, they give us more information than what they sometimes do, but with the DJ, it is a debtor's journal. That's when we sell goods on credit, so when he purchased stuff, and the document there is an invoice. If he returns some of the goods, it goes on to the debtor's allowance journal. Document is a credit note. If he pays us money, it goes on to the CRJ, and the document is a receipt. If that check comes back because there's insufficient funds or whatever the reason is, it will be entered onto a CPJ, and we will get it on the bank statement. So the document is bank statement. Then also entries when we have to reverse the discount. If we made a payment which now gets returned, we need to reverse that discount. We'll do that on a general voucher, or a general journal, as well as if we charge interest. All those, let's call it funny non-cash transactions, general journal, and the document for a general journal is a journal voucher. So that I need to know. In this case, they give us some of that information in the information, so not too serious. The fifth, we sold goods on credit. If we sell on credit, it's a DJ and it is an invoice. So on the 5th, let's put it in. On the 5th, we sold goods on credit. Now with the DJ, as well as the debtors ledger, as well as the creditors ledger, the details is a document type and number, not anything else. Type and number. What document type? They tell me invoice. So I'll put in there invoice. And they give me the number 101. So under details, I must have what document it is. It's an invoice and the number. The folio would be the general ledger folio, which I haven't got. Now, if he buys more will he owe us more or less? The more he buys, the more he's got to pay, so he will owe us more. So it will go into the debit column. And the amount, 5,000 Rand. 5,000. But with the debtors ledger and creditors, we've got to have a running total. So the balance must be whatever it was previously, plus or minus the new transaction to get a new balance. So he owed me 7,000, plus now he bought a further 5,000. So how much is he owing me afterwards? That one plus that one. So he's owing me 12,000. So it's this previous balance. If it's in this column, I'm going to plus it. If it's in this column, I'm going to minus. So it's 7 plus 5 gives me 12,000. On the 10th, we receive a payment for 6,800 in full settlement. That tells me after this payment, he will owe us nothing. And we issue a receipt 4002. So on the 10th, we issue a receipt 4002. 4002. And what is the amount that he pays? It is what he owed on the 1st of March. So we received 6,800, and that should settle whatever he owed us on the 1st of March. If he makes a payment, will he owe us more or less? He will owe less. If you owe somebody money and you make a payment, you will owe him less. So he made a payment of 6,800 Rand. So now I'll take the previous balance of 12,000 minus the 6,800, and that gives me 5,200. So it's 12,000 minus 6,800 gives me 5,200. But they said this amount that he pays is settling what he owed us on the 1st of March. He owed me 7,000 on the 1st of March. So there's a difference of 200 Rand between what he paid and what he owed. So 7 minus 6,800 is 200 Rand. So we must also reduce his account with that 200 Rand. And what was that? That was discount. Now, discount is one of the only ones where I won't put in a document, because we don't give him a document, we just give him the discount. So we'll just put in discount allowed. 200 Rand, which means 5,200 minus 200 gives me 5,000, which is right. So that 5,000 happened after the first. So whatever he owed at the first, after he paid it up, he only owes us what he purchased after the first, which was that 5,000. Right, the next, on the 15th, issue a credit note number 12 for 900 in respect of goods returned. And that happened on the 15th. And it is a credit note. Credit note means for goods returned, which would be on the DAJ, the Debtors Allowance Journal. And it is for 900 Rand. Okay, first of all, the credit note number 12. So again, I'll put in the document type, credit note, and the number. If he returns goods, will he owe us more or less? If I return some broken stuff, obviously I will not pay for them, so I will owe less. So it will go onto the less column, the credit side. And it was 900 Rand. So what's he owing me now? 5,000 minus 900 gives me 4,100. So at this point, he owes me 4,100. On the 20th, the bank returned the check received on the 10th with the remarked RD, insufficient funds, and you must cancel the discount. So first of all, we're going to cancel the check. It was that check, the 6,800 that he paid. The bank now returned it. They said, no, he hasn't got money. So we must reverse it. When we received it, it was on a CRJ. Now it will be on a CPJ. When we received it, CRJ, and we made the amount less that he owed. Now that we reverse it, we're going to add it back. He must still pay it, so we must add it. The date, 20th. Where did we see that? We did not issue a document. We got it from the bank statement. So I can just write in bank statement. I reduced it there, so I must add it back because it's never going through, so we did not actually receive the payment. So he must now still pay it back to us. So we must add it. We'll put it in the debit column. So it's 4,100 plus 6,800 gives me 10,900. Previous balance 4,1 plus, it's in the plus column, and then get a new total. But they also say I must also cancel the discount, because if I look at what happened there, we paid 6,800 and I gave him 200 Rand off. So now I'm reversing the 6,800, but he cannot get discount anymore. I must also reverse that. So I must add that back to his account as well. Now that won't happen on a journal or on a normal CPJ. That will happen on a general journal. Any interest or discount that I reversed is on a general journal. So on the general journal, the document is a journal voucher. Now, they don't give me a number, so I can just make it number 1. And I must add it back. So I must do the opposite than what I did when I gave it to him. So now I'm going to add 200 to his account. So now he owes me 10,900 plus 200, 11,100. And the last, charge him interest for 1 month on his opening balance. So not what he owes us now, what he started at the beginning, we must charge him 1 month's interest. So that happens on the 25th. Interest, as with the reversing of discount, also happens on a journal voucher. So it will again be a journal voucher on the general journal. Number 2. If we charge him interest, he must pay us more. So it will go in the more column. But now we've got to calculate how much he must pay us, because they don't give us the amount. They simply say charge him 1 month interest. And it must be on his opening balance, and at the beginning they told us interest is 6% per month. So let's see, he owed us at the beginning 7,000, his opening balance. On that he must pay interest. So it's 7,000. The interest that he must pay is 6%, 6 over 100. That was there at the top, and it is for 1 month. So we must work out how much it is. The 6% is a year rate, so we must work out how much it is for 1 month. To do that, we multiply it by 1 over 12. So let's just see what that gives us. So it's 7,000 times 6%, and that we've got it times by 1 divided by 12, and that gives me 35 Rand. So we will add 35 Rand to his account, which he must pay. So we'll put it in the more column, the debit column. 11100 plus 35 gives me 11135. So at the end of the month, this guy, Smart, owes me 11,135. I've got all the transactions in, so that is what he needs to pay us. Creditors will work much similar, except that purchases will go on the credit side. If we pay, it will go on the debit side. If we did return on the debit side, so just the opposite. It will increase on the credit, decrease on the debit. go and try some activities.